Hi, how you guys doing? This is Jonathan. Welcome to your channel. The Stratocaster, I'm always in love with the Stratocaster. Always have been, always will be. And the tone that comes out from this guitar is, like, to me, the most beautiful thing I can ever hear from electric guitar. The only problem that I have with the Stratocaster is the 60 cycle hum, that it emits, especially from a stock Stratocaster that you buy from the shop or you order online. And especially the old ones, like the 50s style pickups and the 60s style pickups, they generate a lot of hum, especially in the studio environment where there are a lot of lights. Back in the days when I walk into a studio doing a session with a noisy guitar, chances are, the producer is going to make a whole lot of noise, by himself, and you don't want to end up in that situation. So what I did, and what most of the session guitarists in Singapore did, was to equip their guitarists with EMG pickups, noiseless pickups, so that we can get the job done cleanly, efficiently. They're great, and I have a couple of EMG equipped guitars which sound really great. So sometimes in order to get the traditional Stratocaster tone, you will have to use a normal Stratocaster pickup. Depending on the guitars that you have, say for example, if you want a Hank Marvin tone or a Mark Hoffner tone, you probably have to get your hands on a good Stratocaster with the original pickups, which might be noisy. So in the studio, you probably have to shift positions to play so that you will find yourself in a sweet spot where there's no noise, and that can be irritating at times, but it still gets the job done. The studio, of course, have their fair share of noise gates and whatever, and those are high-end noise gates. Those are really good with good parameters, and it works, So sometimes when we come to a situation when we need to record traditional sounding Stratocaster, this is what we did. But for most of the sessions that we do, we'll come in with our guitars which are, EMG equipped. In a live situation, you're gonna have a problem because everywhere you go, there's going to be like different electrical setups, every club you play, every venue you play. And if I were to go to a concert I would to play in a concert, I would bring my EMG equipped guitars, because I don't have to bother about whether I'm going to have 60 cycle hum coming from whichever position that I'm in. Sometimes you can't help it, even with a noiseless pickup, with the park can or a lighting equipment right in front of you, you're gonna have buzz, you're gonna have sound. So sometimes I have to shift my position. But if I were to play with my favorite Telecaster or Stratocaster with the stop pickups, then I will have to think about ways to eliminate the 60 cycle hum, in which case I would buy a noise gate unit. And there are many noise gate units out there. If I were you, I would try to find a noise gate unit that is reputable, as well as having a lot of parameters that you can adjust, and not this noise, those simple ones and the cheap ones. I'll tell you why later on as we dwell into the parameters of the noise gate. This is my Helix native, and this is the start of the whole signal chain, which is called host. As you can see from here, this is where the noise gate is placed. So right now it's an off, and then you have the threshold parameter as well as the decay. Now I'm going to turn out the volume of the guitar, and you're going to hear the noises coming out. Alright, so this is the 60 cycle hum that's coming out. Now if I turn it on, it's virtually quiet. The parameters of the threshold and the decay plays a big part into how you want your guitar to sound like with the noise gate on. Now without the noise gate on, I'm just going to play a chord. Of course this is with distortion, slight distortion, just to enhance the noise a little bit. With the noise gate on, no difference in tone, it's just a little bit quieter. Okay, with the threshold, this is how it works. If I have it on the minimum, which is here it states minus 96 dB, it's like virtually not having the noise gate on at all. So what I do is I set it up in such a way where you can hear the difference. There you go. Now it's quiet. So I like to set it somewhere around here, where it's pretty safe. The decay is where you decide when you want the noise gate to kick in. If you have it to the maximum, then it's virtually the noise gate will kick in after 1 second. If you set it like 3-4 in the middle of like 500 milliseconds, the noise gate will start to taper off after 500 milliseconds. If you set it at like 10 milliseconds, the noise gate will start to taper, and it will have a very unnatural tapering effect, which I will show you right now. So it cuts off your sustain, very unnaturally. So what I do is I'll say like somewhere around 580 milliseconds. Where you can actually control how long you want the sustain to be, because if the noise is still there and you want to cut off your sustain, you can just roll off your volume or just stop the note, and it'll be really, really quiet. Like for example, I'm going to do this. So it's quiet, right? So this is how you set your decay time as well as your threshold. The noise gate that I'm using at home is from the Helix. I record most of the stuff through the Helix native. And the Helix native has a real good noise gate at the start of the chain of the signal. So my guitar goes into the Helix, that's where the noise gate happens. And it has a really good noise gate unit there that you can set your threshold, you can set your decay, and that's what you want. You don't have to get a real complicated noise gate, like, you know, a noise gate that costs thousands of dollars. You know, just get a good pedal noise gate if you're going to use it live. And if you're going to use it in the studio, in your studio, home studio, anywhere, you know, with your pedal board, then yeah, you might think about investing in a real good noise gate. So noise gate, they save me from some very noisy situations, and I'm sure you guys out there, you have your own fair share of noise coming up from your pickups. Sometimes you just live with it, you know. Sometimes I live with it, you know. I just kind of like, the heck with it, you know. This is how it sounds like. That's the way it's gonna be. But sometimes when you're doing a recording, you know, you want everything to be clean, and that's where noise gates comes in. So let me know about your experiences with noise gates. You know, what are your successes and what are your failures, and share with me on the comment section down below. Well, just not with me, but with the rest of the guys who are in this channel. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and feel free to join this video channel if you want to, and press that bell if you want to be notified of any new videos that I come up with. So in the meantime, you guys take care. Arrivederci. Ciao.